Alright, what's up folks? I'm here to bring you an update on Ethereum. I see a few very interesting things you need to be aware of, some very key resistance levels that I think are extremely important to understand the next major move with Ethereum. So folks, if you like the sound of that, please like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to notify new uploads because I highly appreciate it and you guys get to stay up to date with the latest and greatest in crypto. So folks, let's delve into what's kind of happening with Ethereum. First off, I want to begin by highlighting what I think is the most important resistance level that if Ethereum can get above and hold above $1,775, I think we're very ready for our next impulse up. If we look at the daily candles here, we can clearly see how twice 1775 acted as resistance, and not only that, two times we tried to get above on the daily candles and we could not. We had daily candles, the bodies of the daily candles close right below 1775. Folks, I believe 1775, 1776 for those for you Americans is a very important number to keep our eye out for, because as soon as we get above that, I think we have a very good chance of seeing bullish continuation. Now, aside from that, there's going to be some very important off-chart factors that we need to keep our eye out for, but Ethereum has been pretty clearly reacting off this range. I think more so the range we need to keep in mind is 1775 to kind of 1760. That range is pretty price reactive, you know, based off this wick here. You know, this is a pretty price reactive range. So if we can start to get above this range and hold above this range, I think Ethereum is very likely to see bullish continuation. Like here we can see as soon as we tested this range and fell below it, that's when we really started to dump. This range is extremely important resistance level for Ethereum. Let's take a look before we talk about some of the macro factors that off chart that you guys need to be aware of. Let's kind of take a look here at our indicators to get a sense, get a feel for what things are saying here. So let's start off by looking at the daily here. And looking at the daily, we're starting to see some signs of some potential weakness. MACD taken down, bearish crossover on the weighted MACD, but bullish crossover on the stochastic RSI. We are not getting a confluence of reasons. Right here, we have two indicators that kind of act as leading indicators for the respective indicators. So that the weighted MACD kind of acts as a leading indicator for the MACD, and the stochastic RSI kind of acts as a leading indicator for the regular RSI. That's why I love to pair them together. And right here, we're seeing some bearishness, but here we're seeing some bullishness. So we're not seeing confluence of reasons. So let's keep looking, see if we can get more indicators pointing in the same direction, so we can be more confident of direction. So again, further bit of weakness. The MACD taken down, looks like it might want to have a bearish crossover soon. Weighted MACD looks like it might want to have a bearish crossover soon, although it did have a bullish one. And then stochastic bearish crossover. RSI, you know, overbought, going for another leg down. 12-hour is looking weak, folks. So let's take a look at the 6. Ooh, look at that. Bearish crossover on the stochastic RSI. Bearish crossover on the weighted MACD. Looks like we're trying to have a bearish crossover here on the regular MACD. If we do have that bearish crossover, we may have another leg down. So folks, before I continue, if we continue to get rejected off like 1555, 1556, I think this might look like a dead cat bounce where afterwards we go for that leg down, where we kind of do this thing where we fall below resistance, go back up to retest the resistance point, and if we cannot break above here, then we go for that next leg down. So something like that is definitely possible, especially if we do indeed get those bearish crossovers on the hourly time frames. That is definitely possible. Let's take a look at the 4. Yeah, bearish crossover. Yeah, 4 hour looks bad. 2. It's a good song. Yeah, 2 hours bad too. 1. So 1 hour is where we're starting to see some strength. With the MACD starting to tick up, stochastic RSI, bullish crossover RSI going for that leg up. So I think kind of just summarize my thoughts here a bit is the lower time frames look bullish, higher time frames we're starting to see some weakness, which makes sense because we tried to break above key resistance and we couldn't. We fell back down. So I think based off the lower time frames, what we're doing is we're going back up, I think, to retest some of these previous resistance levels. If indeed we go back up and get rejected off these levels here, I do think we're likely to go for another leg down. I think kind of falling down to the very least to the original breakout point from this more micro descending triangle, kind of at like, you know, 1620 around there makes sense. Kind of touch our 200 EMA on the 1 hour. I think kind of that makes sense for the short term. But aside from a short term pullback that we may indeed have here, folks, we need to keep in mind that the macro trend, what's going on in big picture, we cannot forget the big picture. Because folks, you're in crypto. Crypto is the most highly volatile asset class in the world. You should expect 5, 10, 15, 30% pullbacks to happen like that with the snap of a finger through in a day, because that's crypto, folks, the most highly volatile asset class in the world. But aside from that short-term volatility, we just broke out of this several month long, well, we can measure it. How long were we in this kind of descending triangle from here to here? 23 days. Okay, we were in a very long ascending triangle here, and we broke out bullishly. So if we take the height of this ascending triangle and we move it to the breakout point, could we see $2,000 Ethereum? I definitely think so, and that lines up with one of our fib, the 618 fib extension level, which makes a lot of sense. Whenever we have two indicators pointing in the same direction, you can be more confident of direction. So I do think whenever it is we have that next impulse, I think we do see $2,000. So maybe in the short term we see a bit of a pullback here, maybe fall back down and retest the breakout point again, like 1620 ish. If we can find support there, I do think Ethereum's ready for that next leg up. Of course, as well, the 20 EMA here in the daily, we can clearly see it's pretty price reactive here. Held the support here, support, which is right around 1520. So we could even fall back down to there. So even like kind of like the original breakout point. So to just summarize things more concisely for you guys, I think we're very, very, very likely to find at the very least temporary support from the original breakout point to kind of the more micro breakout points. And so to summarize this even more concisely, so this breakout point here, I believe kind of 1440 to 1475 you can consider kind of breakout territory from the macro ascending triangle, and from the micro descending triangle, you could say kind of like the low 1600 1620 is the breakout point. So finding support, I think somewhere within this range makes a lot of sense for Ethereum. Our 20 moving average on the daily will be right there, and if we go to the 12, we can also see how the 12-hour 50 moving average is also very critical support. Again, pump, dump, found support there. Pump, dump, found support right here. So this is going to be another very important EMA. And as well, if we go to the 6-hour, I bet you the 100 is, yes, look at this. Pump, dump, found support on the 100. Pump, dump, found support on the 100. So again, we're seeing a lot of EMAs line up within this zone. So basically, to put it even more concisely, 1610 to 1480 is where I would expect Ethereum to find support, and that's where I would be looking to accumulate. Again, no guarantee we fall back down that low, but if we did fall back down this low, because we are starting to see some weakness, this is where I would personally be looking to accumulate. And again, that next impulse I think brings us to $2,000. And folks, another thing to consider while looking at technicals is awesome. I love doing it. We also, again, cannot forget the bigger picture, which is a CME Futures platform just opened up for Ethereum, which gives the legacy institutional players an opportunity to move into Ethereum. I like to watch the Tokenmetrics live streams every now and again. We pay for Tokenmetrics here on this platform. It's an AI-fueled price predictions and portfolio suggestions platform. We highly recommend it if you can spare it. Link for that will be down in the description below. If you guys want to sign up, they offer like a paid trial. It's like $10 for a week. But point being, I like to watch their live streams every now and again with Bill Noble. He's their TA guy. He used to be in the legacy markets. I think he worked for Goldman or something like that. Please forgive me if I don't remember exactly right. But he phrases things very well, which is the institutions are embarrassed that they didn't get into Bitcoin, that they miss out on Bitcoin. But with this futures platform, this gives the institutions the avenue to capitalize on what's going on in crypto. Because if they see Ethereum and Bitcoin exploding all the time, and meanwhile they're making 5% on the S&P 500 in a year, they're going to feel embarrassed when MicroStrategy and Tesla are making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 X's over the course of a few months. So ultimately, these institutions have to get involved in crypto at some point, because they'll just they'll lose their jobs if they don't. Because look, if one institution or if one investment fund is in crypto and is making insane returns, and the investment fund right next door is not in crypto and is making modest average returns, 5-8% a year in the stock market, where are you going to place your money? You're going to place your money in the investment fund that's making crazy returns in crypto. And so this futures platform gives those legacy players, gives those institutions an avenue to move into crypto. And so this could actually be very, very bullish for Ethereum long term, giving those legacy players a way to get into crypto as well. Folks, with Tesla having bought into Bitcoin, that is insanely bullish for not just Bitcoin, but for the rest of the market, because it legitimizes crypto. And in my opinion, I've been saying this for a while, Ethereum is the next Bitcoin in the sense that it's the next cryptocurrency that institutions, that big players are most likely to move into next. And now there's speculations, now there's rumblings that Apple might be the next big company to move into Bitcoin. If that happened, that would be insane, absolutely insane. Folks, if every like S&P 500 company, if all the major publicly traded companies start putting small percentages of their balance sheet into Bitcoin and maybe a little bit into crypto, maybe a little bit into Ethereum, like 1, 2, 3, 5% of the balance sheet into Bitcoin, folks, that completely changes the entire situation. We need to understand that every bull run in history has been driven by retail investors. This time it's different. This time the institutions, massive institutions, Tesla, the largest publicly traded companies in the world, the largest investment funds in the world, the largest banks, countries are now getting in. And if Apple moves in, folks, we could see like $500,000 Bitcoin this cycle if, like, you know, the majority of S&P 500 companies start putting, you know, small percentages of their balance sheet into Bitcoin. And something like that is definitely possible. Bitcoin just did it. Why couldn't Apple do it? And if they start to do it, then everyone else has to do it because they can't miss out. So this is giant news. Just like when Elon said, you know, it was inevitable and put hashtag into Bitcoin in his bio weeks before the news came out that he actually bought into Bitcoin. He was letting the people know, folks. He was letting you guys know. He was trying to give you guys a chance to get in before the news came out. And could something very similar be happening with Apple, where we find out a month, 2 months, a quarter from now that Apple and maybe some other massive companies got into crypto? I definitely think something like that is possible. And I think it's just a matter of time before they start to eye things like Ethereum. And Ethereum has a better ROI potential, in my opinion, for a few reasons. I think it's earlier in the cycle compared to Bitcoin, and it has a lower market cap, so therefore a higher ROI potential. And now with Ethereum 2.0 being rolled out, locking up a bunch of the liquidity for extended periods of time, Ethereum is deflationary. And yes, there's no like absolute cap on the amount of Ethereum that can be created. It is created in a way that people can anticipate, and there's even suggestions that developers are going to start burning Ethereum, although that's not for sure yet. But either way, just with Ethereum 2.0, a bunch of the liquidity being like locked up for extended periods of time is extremely bullish, folks. I do think we're in the beginning stages of a bull run that's likely to end with Bitcoin September, October this year, and Ethereum and the altcoins are likely to reach their peak roughly a month after Bitcoin. I'm basing that off the previous cycle back in 2017, 2018. Ethereum and the altcoins reached their peak roughly a month after Bitcoin. So could something similar happen this time around? I definitely think so. And make sure you stay tuned to this channel because we're going to be breaking down all the major important market analysis all throughout this bull run. You have to stay tuned, folks. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to notify new uploads. As well, check out our Discord. Link for that will be down in the description below. We place helpful articles there, technical analysis resources, a bunch of good stuff. Anything interesting happens, we're talking about it there. As well, our Patreon, folks, we have a VIP Discord. We offer shirts and you get special designations if you join our Patreon. As well, first 100 people who join our Patreon, we'll be randomly giving away a hardware wallet. So make sure you check that out. Link for that will be down in the description below. Anyone who supports us in whatever way they can is extremely appreciated. We recently reached 10,000 subscribers, folks, and let me tell you, that is absolutely insane. You know, me and Messin, we've really been at this thing just a few months, and we thought we were going to be talking to absolutely no one for like months and months. And so the fact that we recently hit 10,000 just we're extremely grateful for anyone who supports us in whatever way. And this is just the beginning, folks. Stay with us. The future looks bright. All right, thanks for watching, folks. Take care.